without wasting much of your time. We hope to also keep to time. Our target is between 11:30 and make sure we end before 12. So we hope you do learn a thing or two. Reading through my schedule, I'll have the introduction and welcoming speech of my guests. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll also have a brief introduction of my speakers. I'll have them speak each for about 5 minutes. Then we'll go into questions and answers, have a video from NetPlus, have someone from Business Day, and the closing remarks. Okay. Just bear with me 1 minute. Okay, so you're welcome to Business Day NetPlus SME Digital Transformation Webinar Series. This is the final one for the year, December. We've had about 10, 11 editions starting from beginning of the year. The digital transformation is just an overhaul of every business. We try to help you see how you can be more profitable with each of the topics that we have covered. I will also talk a bit of all the topics mentioned throughout the year. We've done something around social media, integrating your business, having an online payment system, a lot of stuff also around helping you grow your business. But this month's topic will be focusing around the importance of data analytics in your business. The SME Digital Transformation Webinar Series is aimed at creating an avenue for SMEs looking for expert information and sharing knowledge on a range of related topics. It also offers a connecting platform for participants to meet with organizations that can facilitate access to market, finance, and skills. This was initiated by Business Day and NetPlus. Business Day is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information on diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. We do publish every day, weekdays, and on Sundays. The newspaper is based in Lagos and Accra, with syndication from Financial Times, The Economics, and Harvard Business Review. Our focus areas are research and data gathering, data management, analyzing data for your business. NetPlus. NetPlus is a leading technology and digital payments company with a mission to provide practical and innovative merchant services and digital payment solutions to businesses in Nigeria and emerging markets globally. For this month, all through the year, we've invited key opinion speakers and leaders, experts also, consultants across the digital space to help SMEs through practical steps of leveraging technology in the day-to-day running of their businesses. We believe that data is really important and the world right now is driven by data. As the year comes to an end, it is apparently really important that SMEs begin to realize the importance of data and how they can analyze this data to help them grow their business, which is why we are having this month's series focused across amongst data. This month, with your help, the help of the speakers, we'll be helping the small businesses realize the importance of data analytics in their business. Themed, the importance of data analytics to your business. Our speakers will be helping the audience uncover tips for leveraging data analytics in not only closing out a business year, but in the day-to-day running of their businesses. The focus will be on methods to encourage SMEs to adopt the dynamic offerings of data analytics in the digital transformation journey that they are all embarking on. If you want to follow us across social media handle, it's at Business Day NG on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and LinkedIn, and same thing for at netplus.com for our partners handle. Okay, so I'm going to quickly read through the profile of my speakers, and then I'll invite them in no particular order. They have 5 minutes to speak each on the topic before we'll go into questions, if that's fine. I hope we're good and that we can hear me.
We can hear you.
Thank you. Okay, so my first speaker in no particular order, I have Mr. Kolawole Daniel. He's the founder of Lagos Digital Marketing. Founder of Lagos Digital Marketing is the managing director of Traders Bowl Nigeria and the CEO and co-founder of Move It Digital. He's considered by many to be a pro at the game of digital marketing. He has a lot of experience in social media marketing, content creation, and strategy mapping, advertising, branding, public relations, and SEO services. He has over 10 years combined experience in the above mentioned fields and is endorsed by hundreds of top professionals. Mr. Daniel is an innovative thinker, a creative and passionate teacher with an abundance of knowledge. He has an impeccable ability to easily transfer knowledge to his trainees, no matter what the level of experience they currently have. Join me, everyone, as I welcome Mr. Kolawole Daniel. My next speaker on the line is Mr. Collins Ofogu. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Evaluate Media. Collins Ofogu is the Chief Executive Officer of Evaluate Media, a marketing and media technology company. He's a successful serial entrepreneur, business development professional, and sales strategist. His experiences span the business consulting, telecommunications, retail, real estate, and media industries, having consulted for several local and national brands across multiple industries on product development, strategy, business strategy, and startup growth. And through Evaluate Media, managed the personal profiles of over 50 C-suite executives globally. Collins Ofogu holds a BSc in microbiology from the University of Benin and an MBA from the University of Lagos. He has attended many capacity development programs, including an executive leadership program at the Northeastern State University, Oklahoma, and numerous courses and seminars locally and internationally. Join me, everyone, as we welcome Mr. Collins Ofogu. Thank you very much, Mr. Collins, for joining us. Next on the line is my noble and amazing lady, Omo Clark. She's the CEO of IBIS. Omo is the founder and CEO of IBIS, a digital product agency that builds niche digital products and offer custom digital services that solve social and business problems. IBIS owns the HandyJack and Let's Share online portal. Omo is a qualified IT practitioner, technology entrepreneur, and SEO expert with experience in software development that spanned several years. She's an alumni of Brunel University, UK, with an MSc Information Systems and London Gunhall University, UK, and a BA Honours in Business Administration. She's a Global Women Entrepreneurs Initiative, CWEI 2015, a fellow of the Evan Allen College, Georgia Institute of Technology, Atlanta, USA, member of the Institute of Software Practitioners of Nigeria, ISPON, a member of the Nigerian Internet Registration Association, NIRA, a certified digital auditor by the International Trade Center, ITC, which is an agency of the United Nations and World Trade Organization. She's also a mentor for the Founders Institute and WTech. Join me, everyone, as we welcome my only female panelist this month, Omo Clark. Thank you, Omo, for joining us. Next, we have our noble Mr. Chukwemeka Fred Abata Jr. He's the co-founder of Build Media Africa. CFA wears multiple hats, which are all focused on launching and supporting technology startups on the African continent. He's a partner at Pacer.vc, co-founder at GoDoHub, and Founders Institute Regional Director for Africa. For more than a decade, CFA has actively promoted the African tech ecosystem, which his multi-award-winning media platforms, including TechBuild.Africa, Tech Trends on Channels Television, and ICT Clinic column in the Punch newspaper. He currently serves as a director of the Innovation Support Network, ISN Hubs, a network of more than 100 innovation and technology hubs across Nigeria. He's a director with Nigerian Internet Registration Association, that's NIRA, the Sovereign Managers of Nigerians.ng domain. CFA supports a few charitable foundations, including Faith Foundation, Sam Ohuabuna Foundation, Center for Values in Leadership. He has written 2 books, Becoming a Professional Blogger and Powering Your Business on the Internet and Social Media. Also, along with Tayo Fajolo, he co-authored Technology Disruption. He enjoys reading, traveling, building relationships, and making impactful connections. That will be the last panelist on this panel. Thank you very much, Mr. Fred, for joining us. Everyone joining, thanking him also for coming. My name is Linda. I head digital sales for Business Day. I've done this for the past 9 years, and I have a strong forte for digital growth and for helping SMEs. I will be your moderator for this session, and I hope it's going to be very interesting and insightful for all of you listening. I hope that this will be a very good 1 hour. If you do have questions, please do send in your questions. We'll take them as we go. But first, But first, I would like us to have each of our speakers speak for 5 minutes concerning the topic of the day, which is the importance of data. So I'll probably start in the same order I read the profile, which will be easy. So I will go with Kola Wole Daniel first, if that's fine by you. Mr. Kola, are you ready? Would that be okay by you?
Yeah, it's okay. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, good morning. My name is Kola Wole Daniel Malik. People call me DM. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So I'll just go quickly into it, and I'll be talking about what has been given, which is data analytics, analysis for business. And I like sharing, personal experiences, because I think it's easy for you to actually share what you've experienced, and people can easily learn from that. What I do majorly in my business is strategy. A lot of people call me digital marketer, but I call myself a digital strategist. And I do always tell people that in business, whatever it is that you want to do with your marketing campaign, if you don't have a strategy, you're actually going to be failing, because at the end of the day, you're just going to be pushing and miss. You're going to be it's like I always say, it's like a man trying to ask a lady out and is winking in the dark, and so you're going to be actually just be doing things, blindly. And one of the things that can actually help you not to do that blindly is strategy. And one thing that you can use to build your strategy for your campaign is data. We're actually in a season right now where we can actually get things. We live in a time where there are endless amounts of information available with just clicks. Computers and internet have made it easy for us to collect and access data, all kind of data. And as business owners, you could use this information to know more about your business, to improve about your business, to get to know more about your customers. And you can collect data of varieties for your businesses, including product research, sentiment research, market research, and much more. You can go over and over and over this. And why is this important for our business? Because that's the main topic. One of the things I believe that it helps us to do is, getting our demographics right. When you gather information about your clients, you start to understand who they are, where they live, their age, their gender, their spending habits, why they shop here, their cultural habits. It helps you to understand how they think, why they think that way, all their psychographics. It helps you with all this. You'll figure out which group is most profitable for your business. You will then know who to market to, when to market or when to advertise your business. You can focus on those people and give them the best deals, because you already know they are spending money with you. You will know why they are spending money with you. You could also use this data to target potential clients that falls into your customers' demographics. You won't waste your time researching out to people who probably won't buy your product, because you already have a target audience, that you're focusing on. And this data helps with this demographics. If you understand that it's like you saying you want to market, you're trying to market to a youth audience, and you are just assuming, how they think. Our youth audience especially in Nigeria and Africa as a whole today, the way we think grows by the day. If you believe that the way the youths are thinking last year is the way they actually think it is, things are evolving. This morning I was just watching TikTok, and there's been a song that's been trending, and this song has been out for over 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. And I saw the song trending this morning, and I was like, why is this song trending now? But data will help you understand things like this. Another thing data will also help you understand is improve your customer service. You can use the sentiment analysis to understand what consumers think about your business online. Sentiment analysis is taking text and analyzing if positive or negative neutral text. You have more negative comments, you can see why. If you have more positive comments, you can see why. Then you could see where you need to improve in your company. This will enhance your customer service, because you will know which things to address. You can then use this sentiment analysis at a later date to see where you are, where you have approved, or where you're wrong, or where your customers are saying, what your customers are not saying. It all boils down to how to improve your customer service, with data. Another thing is also you'll be able to predict your customers' behavior. You'll be able to, if you're running a business and you're living in the now, then you're making a huge mistake. Data helps you to analyze what is coming ahead. You can't just focus on the now. If you want your business to succeed in the future, you could use data analysis to predict how your customers will behave in the future. Every business wants clients to continue spending money over and over again with them after their first purchase. You want visitors on your platforms. You want your visitors to turn returnees. You want your returnees to turn stay likes. Let me use that word. So data helps you, it can show you how many people clicked on your website, why they clicked on your website. Well, it can predict that they are probably going to be back in a few months. You can look at those customers to create loyalty with exclusive deals from them. Then with the customers, who only visit site once, you could come up with other plans on how to get them to commit to being, returnees. Because basically what we want is to keep having returnees on our platform. It is possible you might need to change some things on your website also. Maybe some website might not be might not be mobile, responsive enough, might probably load slowly. All this data helps you with all these things. These are minor things that people don't really look into, but they are very critical to business. A person might actually just want to log into your website and it's just slow on his mobile. Like almost 2% of everybody right now logs in from the mobile. And you are trying to, use people to log in, and it slows the whole thing down. The best and most another thing, and that might be a huge potential client. And it also helps in your decision making. When you have data to look at, making your business decision will be more comfortable because they are supported by facts. Data are facts. They're supported by facts collected, and you can see what works well, what is not working well. There was a time we did a job for an e-commerce client like that, and this guy, sells. I won't want to mention his name. He sells fashion products. But while we were doing this thing, what we discovered was that on his website, he had more 70%, is it 70 or 70 something percent of male making purchase on his website than female. And we said, okay, you know what? Let's push the adverts, more to females and everything. And we still got it on the data that it was actually we still get over 70 something again of male purchase than the female. So instead of him wasting money on the female, whatever, what we did was we just moved in, like, you know what, just move this thing and make it males, what's it called, platform for an e-commerce site. And it just changed that. And today is doing amazingly well. And without data, we wouldn't have been able to achieve all these things. So data helps you in planning. We're going to create a strategy, understanding your consumer culture, understanding even your competitors, doing your competitive analysis. Data helps you with all these things. I don't know if I still have maybe a minute or two left, Linda, to push. I don't know if I can wrap up or something. So data helps you.
You owe me 1 minute. You have exceeded.
I owe you 1 minute. Okay. So data helps you with all these things. So I think with this, at least, like they say in debates, I think I've been able to convince you, not convince you that data analysis is good for business. Thank you very much.
I think we've been convinced. I hope everyone agrees. If you say yes, you agree. Please type yes that you agree. Okay. So I'm going to change I'm going to change things a bit. So I'm going to call Omo next as the only lady. Let me give her that honors of having her go next. So I'll have Omo next. I'll have Collins go for another 5 minutes, and then I'll have Fred take on for 5 minutes. So is that okay? Omo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Linda. I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah. Like I said, ladies first. I'm the only lady on the panel, so
we can hear you.
Okay. My voice is a bit croaky, I said earlier, because I'm recovering from a cold, but I will go. Let me introduce myself. Linda did a good introduction, but I will just reintroduce myself. I'm Omo Clark. I'm a software developer. So I'm listening to everybody. I think most people here come from like a marketing branding type background, but I build software solutions. I run a software company. So what we do is provide software services, and solutions. We do training as well. So, and we also build HandyJax, as you said, which is an online platform, and Let's Share. So that's just like a quick summary of the background. So data analytics, what's all this? I will start from I think Kolawole Daniel did like an excellent job, trying to say, so I'll try and match him if I can. I'm going to start from I'll just go down to the basics. Like you rightly said, these days we're in a digital world, so everything is about data. People call data gold, data is a new gold. So it's something that if you're running a business, whether you are a one-man business, entrepreneur, whatever you are, you need to, you know what I mean, be very conscious of how you use and manage data. One of the things we do in my business is we build database solutions that help people manage data, and it doesn't have to be something really complex. It can be really small. One of the good things about being in the digital era is having the ability to track and analyze your data, you know, the information that comes into your business, the information that goes out. So now I've talked about this information. What is data really? Data are pieces, are facts or information, you know, things that come into your company, things that go out, nitty-gritty. So if you're running if you have a small store, kiosk in the corner, you know, customers coming in, whatever, you know, the information they bring in, that's data. The customer name, like I think Mr. Kola Wale was saying, that's data, you know, where they live, where they come from, you know, those are pieces of data that are important, you know, for your business to be able to serve your customers better and help you make informed decisions, you know, and make money. Those are the things. The thing with all this data that comes into your business and also the data your business generates, because, you know what I mean, it's both ways. Data comes in and you also generate a lot of data. You know, there are masses and masses of data, which are facts, information, you know, statistics, figures that come in on a daily basis. There are so many. The thing about these things that come in is that they are unstructured. You know, raw data is unstructured. You know, they are not in any particular format. So they are difficult to interpret or decode. It's difficult for you to make any kind of informed analysis about it. That's why sometimes you need to like take a step back and, you know, have something more structured, a kind of system where that allows you break this down to be able to make use of it. And that's when analytics and analysis also comes in. So analytics is actually like computation. You know, I think we might go into that a bit later, I don't know. But analysis really is examining and reviewing your data so that you can see patterns or trends or things like that and translate all of this into usable knowledge, you know, usable information or insights that will enable you do things. So for example, if you fry akara, you know, if your job is to fry akara, and then you notice that the people that are coming to buy akara, they are only coming between 4 to 6 p.m. That's action. So what do you do about that information? You know, then, you know, if you know that, oh my God, every day I sit from 5 a.m., but the truth is that the people are rushing me between 4 and 6 p.m., then you can make some decisions about what to do next. Do you start wake up at 5 a.m. to rush to go and open your cell when nobody is there? So that's what, these are the things that data analysis and analytics, you know, which is the tool that helps you process all of this information, will allow you to do, then you can make, you know, good decisions about what you want to do with that in the future. So that's why data is very important. You know, it allows you monitor, track, and measure your efforts, you know, what you are doing, make informed decisions. So you don't just do things anyhow, you know, or you don't just follow and see what everybody is doing. You know, if you have 10 people on the street, you're like, why are these people coming to these people? Or what can I do to attract more people? Data will allow you to do all of this. So in a nutshell, this is what data is, you know, this is what analytics. I don't think I've spoken for 5 minutes, but hopefully this has just, you know what I mean, given an
introduction. You have the floor, you can speak for 1 hour. Yeah.
I'm not going to say, you know, so hopefully.
You have 2 minutes remaining.
I have two minutes remaining, okay. So this is just an introduction into what data is. So data, like I said, data are pieces of information, facts, you know, that either your business will generate or people or your business will collect, you know. And with all of this data, you need data collection tools, you know, that will help you actually properly manage this data that's coming in. So it's not just a matter of, you know, what will I do? And there are different tools for different things you're trying to do. Also, as software developers, we build specific tools depending on what your business is. If you're a supermarket, you know, and you want to collect customer information, we can build a customer database for you. If you have a website, you know, and you want to collect analytics, there are tools, again, Google Analytics, things like that can help you. You know what I mean? So depending on what you're doing, if you're a finance company, you know, you have financial tools that will help you do all of this. So depending on what you want to do, first of all, you know, it's a structured process. What kind of information do you want to collect? I.e., what kind of data do you want to collect? You know, what kind of tool do you want to use? Analytics tool, do you want to use? Analytics is computation. Do you want to use? How will you process this information, which is the analysis of it, and what kind of information will you be getting from it? What do you want to use it for? So these are all of the things, all of the ways, you kind of manage data and use it for actionable insights to make your business better and to, make money, make informed decisions, run your business better. Hopefully I've exhausted my remaining 2 minutes. Linda,
you didn't end with these few points of yours. Hope you've been able to convince us and not to confuse us. I'm just kidding.
With panel of debaters.
Thank you so much, Omo. You have done well in explaining to us the meaning of data. Data has to do with facts and information about your business from across different sources. I think the major problem we have is we normally have this data, but we don't know what to do with them, which is where analytics come in, where people are coming from, what they're doing, timing. So analytics will just help you to analyze better. I'm sure we'll go into that better. This is just the introduction stage. Mr. Collins, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Collins. I'm more or less a salesperson. That's how I like to see myself. Even if I run a marketing and media agency, I still see myself as a salesperson. My colleagues, Omo and Kolawole, have done fantastically well in describing what all about data analytics, the importance, what it's used for, and then the tools that you use in putting data together. I think I can come from the angle of more or less a layman's term, how people can leverage data in their day-to-day business. And I think that's the angle I want to take things from. Data is basically data is basically information, gathering information, analyzing information, putting that information into good use in your business. It could be in your personal lives, but what you do with that information is extremely important. And that's where analytics comes in, as my colleagues has mentioned earlier. Okay, from the layman's term, I think people have used data right from time. Linda mentioned, we gather data. You have the storekeeper with a ledger taking down information about clients that come to buy products from him, about goods that are sold. Now, all these are data being gathered. Now, what they do with that data is just as important as picking up that data. In terms of personal experiences, I've witnessed situations where people run businesses and then do not correctly leverage the use of data in their businesses. And then they end up wasting money, they end up wasting time. They have people working in their organizations that shouldn't be there because they don't understand how the data that they collect can be used in improving business processes. And I think that's the direction everyone wants to go. How do we improve our businesses with the use of data? But first, I'll just touch a few points on how small businesses can leverage data. First and foremost, we need to understand that we have to pay attention to trends in our businesses. Trends basically explains data patterns over time. Okay, in January, how did my business perform? In February, how did they perform? In December, how did they perform? It's general knowledge that in the retail industry, for example, the Umber months, October, November, December, is the busiest time of the year for them. There are many retail organizations make, I'll say, they make more money in November, December than they make all through the year, January down till September, October. Now, if you run a retail store, it's logical that you want to stock up, okay, on some product. For example, you own a store like ShopRite. Which items sell the most within this set of period? It might not be a smart decision just stocking up everything in your store. For example, what you want to do is to understand what product sells most, even if sales is expected to increase, still understanding which products increases, which products records the most patronage is what will help you stock properly and then key into the advantage of that particular season. Data, again, is more than just visits to a website. It's understanding how people interact with your website if you run an online business, for example. Do you have information in the first half of your page, of your web page? Do you have enough information to enable people make that buying decision? Or is it somewhere down below? Understanding that people will spend less time, assessing the whole website, and then would most likely, if you communicate the most important information in the first half of your website, you stand a chance of recording a conversion than putting it down below. Overseeing the cost of customer acquisition. Do you understand, what it costs you to get one customer? If you do, then you might want to basically decrease your cost of acquisition by changing, basically analyzing your marketing channels, the cost that goes into marketing, the cost of retaining the customer, your customer lifetime value, things like that. Basically assessing it to make you understand, again, the cost it takes to acquire a customer, the cost it takes you to maintain a customer before that customer leaves you, how much you can possibly make from that particular client. Data can also be used in tracking your finances. There's a tool I use called Wafer. That particular tool gives a very detailed assessment as to every single dime I spend in my organization. Right from January down to December, am I overspending? Am I underspending? Where did the money go? How much revenue I made in January versus February versus March? What did I do differently in January, that I didn't do in February? Things like this would help you make smart business decisions. Basically, the benefits of using data and analytics in your business cannot be underestimated. There's a whole lot of them out there. You can use basically analytics from data to personalize your customer experience. You understand, again, which customers give you the most value, which customer gives you the least revenue, personalizing experiences to those ones, that give you the most value, so that basically you retain them. And then the ones that give you the less revenue, you can work towards upselling them to buy even more products from you, to subscribe to more of your services. I think it's limitless. The opportunities around there is limitless. It also helps you make informed business decisions, what to do at what products you stock, what services gives you the best revenue, where your products are failing, where your products are working right. Data basically gives you an assessment as to understanding how the whole process flows around each product unit that you operate. It also helps you handle and mitigate risks in your business, or gives you a very good idea on how to handle setbacks. And this comes in handy in the media PR agencies. We've had situations where organizations have basically, there's a miscommunication out there. We had a client at some points where I think a real estate company, an information went out that basically hurts their brand. The minister of housing put out a statement that kind of implicated their company around like constructing houses that were not studied enough, something like that. And then how they mitigated this was to go back again to like using data, looking at customers that have purchased from them, taking that information out there, taking conversations, recording conversations around there, putting it out there, using information to assess the number of people that actually got to see that information, reaching those like certain set of people within certain states that got access to that information. Basically, data helps you assess and then makes the best use of all this to handle situations like this. Also in security management, data also helps you understand again how to assess security of your business. That's if you're into security, that's online. Again, for those that are into online security, we understand that there's been more like series of attacks, on websites, series of attacks, cyber attacks, malware. Understanding this figure again makes you set more like what's it called? Makes it sense fallbacks, more like fail-safe approaches, take fail-safe approaches in ensuring that your security is basically beefed up. So Linda, am I on time here, or how many minutes do I have?
2 minutes.
Sorry?
You've exceeded by 2 minutes, so you owe me 2 minutes.
Okay,
You have to
okay,
refund me later. That's fine.
Thank you.
You want to round off, or are you good?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so next I'm going to be inviting Mr. Chukwemeka Fred, if he's here. He is. The floor is yours.
Linda, hi, thanks.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. I mean, I think a combination of the three people who have spoken have sort of covered, what data is all about. And, I don't want to overflog a dead horse, but what I would say is that, for every business, particularly small businesses, data is super important for you in making decisions. Data helps you to understand where the trends are going. And data is super, super, super important. I was watching the story of Amazon, Jeff Bezos in his very early days, not knowing that he was going to build a behemoth. One of the things that I got out from Jeff, and again, I want to speak from the startup space, which is where I've been operating for quite a while. One of the things that Jeff did, in building the solution from very early on, is that first and foremost, he understood that Amazon was going to be a company that where literally everything can be sold. Now, because he understood that vision, the only thing that he knew that would allow him to achieve that vision was that he was going to build the system that will allow him collect and track data of almost everything happening on Amazon to every Amazon customer. So from very early on, when Amazon was nothing, he already had systems where he could collect all kinds of data that, my co-panelists have mentioned, from customer name, when customers like to shop, when there's a particular customer shop and stuff like that. So all of those things, helped to build Amazon. So today, Amazon, yes, is an e-commerce site, but it's more of a data platform, a data powerhouse. So for every small business out there, every startup out there, just understand that in today's world, data is the new oil. Data is very critical to helping you make decisions. And so, go out there to do all you can to gather the right kind of data, and also make sure that you don't only gather the data, but you also interpret the data, which is where the analysis that Omo and Daniel mentioned comes into play. So Linda, I'll stop at that. If there are direct questions, I'll be happy to take them on. Thanks.
Fred, you are the best. You are spot on. You don't owe me. The rest, they are owing me. I'm owing you 3 minutes. You only spent 2 minutes, so we're fine. Okay, so I'll just quickly have like a summary of some of the things that have been said. I'll talk briefly on, Kolawole mentioned the fact that you have customers and you need to know who they are, where they come from, and it will help you plan ahead so that you can predict the future. So the whole idea about data is, if you have it and you cannot analyze it and use it for the future, then you're finished. There's no need. So data will be gathered, and then you will be able to analyze it. It will help you to be able to predict what will people want. There was something that was mutual to both Collins and Kolawole. They talked about paying attention to trend. So what's happening now? What is trending? What do people like? What do people want? What are they looking for? Where are they looking for? That will help you as a small business so that you can make decisions faster. You don't want to sell a product that people are not interested in. You don't also want to force them to buy what they do not want to buy. But you can benefit and enjoy from what is trending, which means you can actually say, okay, so this song that is trending on TikTok, can we create a video around it for our business to market and advertise what we're doing? How do we go about it? So you need to know, so you're not actually bringing an old song that is dead and people are getting angry with, but you can use something now. And then I think the banks are always using what is trending. A few weeks ago, we had the one trending with Davido and his birthday and Wema Bank cashing in and being happy with the whole thing. So how fast can you act with what is trending? You don't want to start talking about what is trending 4 weeks after. Like everyone's wondering, where are you? Are you still in Nigeria? So that's really key. But there's one other thing I'd like to mention quickly also, is that data is very important. And that's one of the things that Fred mentioned. He talked about having your customer information. I think Amazon is a fantastic business for you to really look up to and emulate. Like, you can go read his story, read how they started first of all selling books and then using online platform. And right now, Amazon is technically selling almost anything and everything. And Amazon is also working on, I think I was listening in the news a few weeks ago, that Amazon is working on making sure that you get your products within a day. So that they have, some years back, we had guys like eBay, we had other online platforms that were doing very well, like, and I'm wondering, where are they now? So the thing about business is for you to remain consistent and to also remain relevant in business. So you have to predict the future. Where will people be? What do they want? Do they want to come to the stores or do they want to buy online? How am I going to use their data? Where are they coming from? Their names, their ages, how much do they earn? Data is just king. You really don't know what you can do with data. A lot can be done with it. So if you can get this data and you can analyze it, then you are in business. You know who your customers are. Before I go, I want to mention quickly something about small businesses. So a lot of small businesses always feel like they do not need data. After all, I have customers. But you find out that with data, you're able to manage your peak and your off-peak period. So let me not call the name of the store. So there's a particular store there in Festac where you go to. I really don't understand why they have not been able to understand their peak periods. So on some days that is not a public holiday or a bank holiday, the place is literally empty. But on some certain days like Christmas, Boxing, the queue to that store sometimes is from inside the store to the main road. And I'm wondering, if you know that you have so many customers consistently, and this has happened I know this has happened back to back for like 4 years. On that day, you have more people, employ more hands, pay them per hour, pay them for the day. Instead of having 10 people, have 30 people so that you can serve your customers more. They're not angry, they're not grumbling, and they just come and they go. Don't, because you want to cut costs and use the same people you use on a day where you have 5 customers and they are sleeping. Use the same number of hands on a day where you have 5,000 customers. They all go angry. So if you gather data as a small business, you know if your peak period is December. Do I need more hands? Do I need more employees? Do I need more staff? You know when your downtime is. So you know, like most of colleagues mentioned that the music industry and the drink industry, the end of the year is like their peak period. But most times in the media industry, the end of the year is the dropping period. So the beginning of the year is kind of slow, and then the middle of the year you have loads of adverts and stuff, and down the year everybody's finishing their money and their budget, and everyone is like, I don't have budget anymore till next year. So it differs. But if you understand your industry, understand your markets, you're able to really understand where to play and how to manage your customers. So I hope some SMEs out there will be able to gain from this knowledge and how to analyze data. If you do have your questions, you can send them in, but we already have some questions in-house. So I'll just take that. I know that, Fred, I'll start with you. Sorry, I have to start with Fred because I know he's going to run off very soon. I'm going to take the first 2 questions for you so that you can answer, so that if at any point in time you really want to go, you can just let me know so that you're not late for the next meeting. So Fred will be jumping off at some point because he has another meeting to catch. So my first question to you, Fred, how important is data and analytics to any business today, in today's world? Fred, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So I mean, data analytics, right, is, one of the most important, and I mean, extremely important tools that you need for your business today. It's you cannot overemphasize the importance, and it cuts across businesses, irrespective of the business that you run. I admit that more traditional businesses might find it a bit more difficult if they're not automated to gather data. Like startups that think of automation and technology from the word go. So what I would say is that because of its importance, irrespective of your business, even though you run a mom and pop shop, you should try as much as possible to integrate technology into your business. That way you can seamlessly gather data. So because, for example, a lot of the shops today still use paper receipts, and some still use paper entries, still make paper entries. Those are data, but then it's just a more complex data because by the time you have 80 or 100 leaves full of data, how do you now begin to transcribe that? Although there are people who also collect, who do business and make that, e-copies for you. But then the point is, it's important for you to just start out, as a small business, trying to think of how to integrate data, because, even understanding the data of your customers and just even the basic things of saying that, my good customers are celebrating a birthday or a wedding anniversary or something, even just keeping in touch, knowing those days and keeping in touch is also awesome, right? So it's really something that every business in today's world, considering the way competition is going, really should get involved with somehow. I know that a lot of people who are not tech savvy, when it comes to technology, it gets boring. And yeah, to an extent, I mean, it can be boring filling with codes and, all the tech stuff, but it's important. That's the word. I mean, even myself now, I am now immersing myself more into blockchain and crypto. So blockchain and crypto was a boring part of technology that I, a techie, was running away from. But today, because I see that more and more stuff, I mean, I woke up this morning and I see that Jack Dorsey has put 3 Nigerians on his Bitcoin board. So that data tells me that more and more things will be controlled around Bitcoin and blockchain and crypto. So just follow the data. It's everywhere. It's on social media. It's on trends. Twitter trends everywhere, and it's important for your business. If you want to succeed in being competitive. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Will I have any speaker want to go on this question?
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yes, please, Omo, please.
Okay. So data and analytics, it's really about operational efficiency, operating your business better. So it's not just, I know we've talked a lot about customer data, which is fantastic, and it's one of the things, but we are not just collecting customer data, we're collecting marketing data, financial data, data all around your business in everything that you do to make you do what you do better, So as a small business, when you're thinking of data, it's not just about managing the customers. And I've seen CFA said, a lot of more traditional businesses, they still use paper or manual-based processes, which, really need to be automated. But all of that is, and I think people will think, oh my gosh, it's so difficult to do. You can start with something basic like Excel, start collecting your data using Excel spreadsheets, little things like that to help you manage all aspects of your business better, to make decisions, see those trends. The trends are, so take, for example, you are a store. We've been using stores. If you're a store and you're selling, one product is selling, people are rushing it, it's selling for #1. But the one people are not rushing and it's making the most money, it's selling for 100 naira. If you don't have, if you're not really monitoring these things, how would you know? You'll be spending all your efforts selling something for 1 naira that is not really making you that much money, and the one that is bringing the meat and bones, even though many people are not buying it, but it's what's actually, So data, it's all aspects of data, customer data. People go online and they say, oh, the computer is following me. That's because those big companies, they are using a lot of analytics tools, to follow you online. So when you go online, you say, oh, the computer just knows what I'm thinking. It doesn't just know what you're thinking, it's been programmed. So based on your habits and the things that you're doing, is following you. That's, gathering customer data. There are other kinds of data we need to be gathering and monitoring and managing properly if you're a small business. And for the new businesses at CFA, new startups, they tend to adopt technology from the start. But if you are more traditional, it's not even too late. Like I said, some people, they are scared because they think, oh my God, how can I start using all these big things? You don't need to start with using some super tools that you won't even understand. You can start using an Excel spreadsheet, start gathering your customer data. It doesn't matter whether you have so many customers, start managing those customers and serving them more efficiently. Start managing your financial data. If you want to go and collect loan as a small business, they ask you for, what are they asking you for? All those financial information. That's data. What are you selling? What are you buying? How much, All those things you can start gathering from day one, Even staff, things like managing your staff information. These days in Nigeria, we complain about staff, especially when you're a small business. Most of my small business colleagues that I know, one of the big headaches is staff. Managing staff information, all of these things. Start collecting all those information. People don't even collect all those kind of things. You'll be surprised, So data analytics, data analysis, it's about efficiency, managing your business more efficiently. You know what I mean? Using data intelligently to run your business, to make good informed decisions. I just wanted to add that bit.
Thank you so much, Omar. You totally killed it. Really, really very important. Like data helps us make informed decisions. I think the major problem sometimes is that people are scared. I agree. Like there's just so much to deal with social media, especially the older generation from above 50. WhatsApp, Instagram, this one, what are they posting? What are they, it kind of gets really complicated. So I tell people, make your life simple. The ones you can learn, learn. And the ones you can't learn, don't make it as an excuse. Find a young person who can help you manage that side of your business, but just get on it. Don't ignore it because it's really going to help you. And one other problem SMEs have, which you mentioned a bit about, is the fact that when they want to go to the bank for funds, for loans, the bank says, give me a track that you've been doing business. And they say, I don't have. Because everything is paper-wise and manual. Write invoice, write receipt. And after a while, they get to tier and you can't find them. So you've been doing business for 10 years, but you don't really have anything to show. So with the systems you have and softwares that can help you generate receipts, and they just keep records. How much did you spend? How much did you buy? How much did you make? And at the end of the day, you can show that as a proof to the bank. Even some of the banks help you with apps that can help you keep track of your spending. Life is easy. You just have to find out and find the right one that you can use that can help you grow your business. Thank you very much, Omar. Okay, so I'm going to run to my next question. Do we have any other speaker wanting to tell us the importance of data analytics? If not, I'll go to the next question. Okay, so Fred, my next question is going to be, what is data analytics to your business? How can small businesses also use this for their business? Like you have been in tech industry and tech business for a while and you've been using it. Do you have any examples that you can give to them or that they can use, to just help them understand how they can really use analytics to understand their business, or maybe some apps or software that they can use? I don't know if my question is clear.
Okay. All right. So thank you for that question. I mean, when it comes to data analytics, there are a lot of tools out there that you can use. There is a simple to the more complex tool. Interestingly now, most platforms actually allow for some form of data monitoring, data gathering and data monitoring. So for example, if you have a website, it's advisable that you add something like a Google Analytics to your website, maybe a Facebook pixel if you are doing a lot of Facebook advertisement. So these two tools will help you track what is happening to your business, at what point in your business. I know one of the panel members mentioned app like Wafer that can help you monitor your financial and gather your financial data. I know that, there are also more complex data platforms, which I will not go into. But, for things that I know that are important for businesses, which is, sales and more sales, I would say that if you're going to be doing email marketing, which by the way you should find ways to do, you should go ahead to have something like maybe like a MailChimp or whatever email platform that you use, but make sure that you always use the data on these things to know where you are, what is happening on the platform, or what's happening on your audience, what your audience are looking at, what they are focused on. For example, I'll give you a typical example. If I want to do a Facebook advert, for example, even though I know Facebook actually has data monitoring facility, what I will also do is that most cases I'll bit.ly the link, because if I bit.ly the link, I'll be able to track what is happening on Facebook, but then with a bit.ly link, I'll be able to also monitor what happens on WhatsApp. So how does my campaign do well on mobile, right? Because for a WhatsApp, you may not be able to track when you push out your link and it goes into multiple groups and multiple people's DMs, right? So one way to do that is to use a tool like a bit.ly. So when you bit.ly the link, you can know, who is accessing your product and what they are looking at your product for. So these are some of the tools that can help you get started with data analytics, and then use it for your business. Of course, if you are doing, so at each point in time, you need to the data tool that you you eventually end up with will depend on the area of data capture that you want to achieve, right? But for most people who are in the web space, in the startup space, who own websites, Google Analytics is one super, super important data analytics tool that you can use, to help you monitor, analyze, and track data. What I would say is this, right? I would say that, as a business owner, you have to, as much as possible, keep it simple. Because again, technology can also be very convoluted, in the sense that you can have so much tools that you have to grapple with, and then you end up not achieving anything, right? So I wouldn't say don't jump into every single kind of tool. Get the basic tool and make the most of it, and I think that will help your business. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Fred. You did justice topic. Do we have any other speaker who would like to jump on this topic with tools that can be practical, that they can use, that can help them really analyze different sides of their business, if it's the marketing side or the information or the data? Bomo Collins, do you have any practical tools? Thanks.
Okay. I'll just write on the back of CFA again, I will talk about how, for example, how a company can practically use Google Analytics. A website obviously is a business critical tool. If you're in business today, you need to have a website, So if a business doesn't have one, you go and have one. So with Google Analytics, if I use an example of the way we've used it in my business, for example, like a practical example, if I give you that one. Now, Google Analytics, as CFA says, it helps you actually, track usage of your website, see how your website is doing. If you integrate it, it's free from Google, so you don't have to pay for it. You just need a Gmail account. So it will, for example, in real time, it will show you how many people are using your website, where they are using it from, what kind of devices they are using it from, what time of the day they are using it, and things like that. So it's very handy. And think if you have an e-commerce website, for example, you need to know if people are buying from you, where they are buying from, so you can tweak. So like in my business, for example, we're not e-commerce, so we just have an informational website. So I think a couple of years ago, for example, we went and we saw where in my business, we try to target Nigeria and West Africa, and then Sub-Saharan Africa, that's our target. But Google Analytics showed that the bulk of people that were using our website comes from the United States, and then they will come from Europe, and then things like that. Nigeria is like way at the bottom, and no other African country, which, you look at it and it's like, okay, how do we interpret this? It's two ways. So first of all, we can say that, maybe there's a market for us out there in the US, and we start tweaking our offerings, towards those people, so we can start earning some dollars, since most of the people coming to our website are coming from that bit. Or we could use it in another way, like, okay, if we are not actually meeting our target audience, is that something within our business, or something within the way we are presenting the information on our website that makes it, that is not attracting the actual target people? And the key is, for our business, the thing is, it was the information we're putting out. That goes to search engine optimization, content optimization. I think I wrote a lot of the content on our website. And I think because of the English I speak, I was not really attracting my Nigerian people using the language that my Nigerian people understand, So it was attracting most of the more foreign people as opposed to the Nigerian people. So that was one of the things we got out of. Is like, okay, how do we localize the language I'm using on our website? Now, if we didn't have Google Analytics to show us that the people we're attracting are not the kind of our target people we're trying to attract, we would have just been doing the same thing over and over and not getting the results that we want. You get what I'm saying? So that's one way, like a analytics tool can actually help you. Like I said, it's two ways. You can say that, okay, I have opportunity, let me be serving foreign people. That works. But the people that I'm actually in business for, let me actually try and serve them. And if the things I'm doing are not really attracting them, then with Google Analytics, show me that, okay, I need to tweak the way I'm doing my things, so that I can start getting the right audience. So that is one key. And then when it shows you, like, if the people that are coming, if you're e-commerce, for example, you're selling clothes, the people that are coming to your website, they are coming at such and such a time, or they are using such device. If you are not, say all of them, they are using smartphones, and your website is not optimized, how would, you know what I mean? You'll be losing customers. So these are some of the kinds of insights you get from Google Analytics that helps you refine your business and do things that you're doing better. So that's, my 2 pennies.
Thank you so much. Collins, would you like to tell us if this Google Analytics is important and how if they have tools that they can use? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So just like the others have said, data is extremely important, even in media and marketing, the industry that I operate in. The other speakers mentioned analytics. Analytics is super important. It basically helps you capture information around your website, the traffic, the pages people are visiting, the conversions, where they're coming from, and then result like that. There are also other tools that can help. And then the one good thing that we see happening these days is that most applications or most apps are basically incorporating analytics into their solutions. So you have like a Facebook. If you simply switch on the business account, or you turn your account from a personal account to a business account, you can see a whole lot of tools that can help you understand the number of people that visit your profiles, the number of people that are engaging with your content, and the likes of that. Same goes with LinkedIn, Twitter, and most of the social platforms. Again, the solution you're looking at will determine the kind of tool that you basically adopt for your business. For HRO, in terms of HRO, there are tools like Bentho that allows you to track your expenses, like how much you pay every single month to your staff, make you understand the trends of how your employees come in, how they leave, basically the churn rates. In terms of finances, I think Zoho has very good solutions down there for business owners. Wafer, even your simple Excel tool can help. Can go a long way in tracking expenses. In sales, I think CRMs, there are a lot of CRMs out there. Salesforce, Pipedrive, quite a number of them. This basically helps you track like how much prospects or how many prospects you're able to acquire in a month, how those prospects moves down your pipeline through the sales process from prospects to leads, from leads to deals. How long again your salespeople are spending with each client, how long it takes them to convert, the time between when you bring them in as prospects and down to when you close them as deals. So basically, there's a lot that data can do for you as a small business owner. This is just a few that I've mentioned so far. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Collins. I would like to invite Mr. Kolawole Daniel, if that's fine. So I want to just tell us the importance of using data analytics and if there are some practical tools, depending on the one that you've also used for your business, that they can use. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to talk from my angle of what I do, which is marketing. I spoke about strategy and me being in marketing the other time. And I would like to say that, SMEs in Nigeria, I think there's one of our main challenges is that we don't do, enough research about what we want to go into before we actually go into them. For example, a lot of people don't understand that marketing doesn't start when you've created the business. Marketing starts before you actually create the business. And when you're doing your research and everything, data analytics and gathering data, actually helps in planning your business. If you want to start a business, even gathering data, even before the business starts at times, also helps in, what to do. For example, speaking about what I said the other time, which is about consumer analysis, for you to be able to understand what your consumer wants, what your consumer likes, your consumer culture and everything, for you to be able to understand that, you should also know that, for you to be able to understand that, you should also understand how your consumer thinks. Now, this will help you even in creating your company itself. From logo creation to brand, how you're actually creating your brand, what your company is about, what your company stands for, your archetype and everything. Everything boils down to what you must have gathered. Most of the time, we set up a company and we think, then after setting up the company, then we start with marketing. Marketing starts because marketing is about letting people know what you do and letting people know who you are. And if people are going to know who you are, then it has to be
I'm sorry about that. Just give us a few minutes.
Apologies about that, please. Apologies about that. I just wanted to say something else. So, like I was saying, marketing. Sorry, so I'm working from home today. That's my neighbor's land, my landlord's son. So sorry about that. So, marketing actually helps us. That data actually helps us from planning. You understand, before you actually start. What's it called? Before you actually start the company itself, because marketing starts from everything you do before you actually push out to the people, before people know about it. For example, we're starting a company right now, and all we've been doing, we're launching a company. We're doing a test launch by this December, and we're starting the company properly by January. The first thing we'll be doing before we kick off is we'll be doing data gathering. We've been doing research. We've been doing how consumer response on this particular platform, how consumers have been responding to us on this, what consumers has been doing here, how customers has been responding here. All these things, has helped us in creating our marketing, has helped us in even factoring the colors we're using for the brand, the kind of images we're creating, the kind of feel, theme, everything. So, data helps with all these things. And most of the time, we just feel that, when we start the company, then we gather this thing. No, it starts before, because it will help you plan ahead and avoid wastage of funds. Most of the time, when you get, for example, imagine you're getting a loan from a bank and you don't have enough details about your marketing plan. You're thinking probably by the time you bring in a marketer, when you start the company, you're now bringing the marketer. The marketer needs to understand, whatever you're doing, you need to understand how your consumer thinks first before you actually set up things. So I think one of the things that people should also consider important is that data is actually very important, in starting. And from the tools they've mentioned earlier, Google can actually help with a lot of things. I do tell people that one of the best universities you can attend right now is YouTube and Google. You can actually get a lot of information, from Google, Google as well, Google Analytics. Maybe not from your platform, but also from other people who have actually, do some of the things you've done. Like also I mentioned earlier on about competitive analysis. These are some of the things you need to do research on before you actually start. Yeah, thank you. Sorry about the little glitch.
It's okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so Fred, I don't know if you're still here. This question is for you before you jump off. So what's the difference between data analytics and data analysis? And do we have different types of data analytics? And is there a right time to also kind of take on analyzing or using your analyzed data? I just have 3 questions. Maybe one. Do I still have Fred here before he goes? Is Fred still on board? Okay, I think not. Okay, so let's go to Mr. Collins. I think Fred has another meeting, so he promised that he was going to start and then he would. So my question, Mr. Collins, if you're ready, is I just want people to be able to understand the difference between data analytics and data analysis. And then also, do we have different types of data analytics? And is there a right time to analyze and use data? So I kind of matched 3 questions in one.
Okay. So the difference between data analytics and data analysis. So I think data analytics is a more simplified version of data analysis. When you're talking about data analytics, that's what we've said: collecting data, analyzing data, and then inserting it into your everyday use. Now, when you're speaking of data analysis, you're going in going further down to address like a wide range of data, using complex data to assess, okay, this information, and then use them in making more like smart choices, smart decisions, basically. So I think the difference between data analytics and data analytics, they're basically the same thing. The data is basically, the difference is basically the skill involved in both analytics and analysis. The second question you asked was?
I said the types of data analytics. Are there different types of data analytics?
Okay, so I'll classify data analytics into the uses, the use of the data, basically. So again, what to use data for, we determine the kind of data you gather, the kind of analysis that you perform on that data, or the kind of analytics that you perform on that data. Again, we've mentioned quite a number of them, even when we started this. Again, data can be used in different regards, in media, in marketing. Data can be used. Data can be used in human resources. I think I mentioned a few examples and then tools that you can use in gathering the data. Data can be used in sales. Data can be used in accounting, in finance, and then again, these different areas that will determine the kind of tools that you use data for.
So the last question in that was, is there a right time for you to analyze or use the data?
Okay, the right time. I don't think there is. To me, I think data can be used right from the start. Kolawole mentioned that when you want to start a business, just from thinking through, okay, on that business, the business idea, this is when you should start gathering data. You're starting a company, you don't basically go and then just open a social media account, register a business, and then start running it. No. I think a little bit of effort has to be put into gathering data, understanding, okay, the market's acceptance. And that's, if you're putting together a pitch deck to speak to investors today, one key factor that you have to place in that pitch deck is your market validation, understanding your market, analyzing your market and validating the market. Okay, is my product, how does my products, how will my product be accepted by this market? Is there a real demand, okay, for my products, for my services? Now, all these are gotten through data. And then when you analyze that data, then you get more or less an understanding of how the business tends to operate. And it goes even more than that. I think this process is more or less an eye-opener to especially entrepreneurs when starting up a business. It gives you very good insights as to understanding future problems that can spring up down the line and then preparing adequately for them should they come in the future. So yes, I don't think there's a particular time on which data analytics should be introduced into a business or a company. I think it's right from the start. If there are businesses that are not leveraging data as of today, I'll tell you, start from wherever it is that you can start. Okay, it could be again, picking a pen and a paper and then just taking notes down that you intend to use to make business decisions down the line. It could be you adopting tools, say starting from your simple Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, MS Word, and then just documenting these data. I think Excel has some really good functions that can allow you take down data, process that data, put them into graphs, into charts that you can use, like more like to present this data in ways that would make sense to even the layman, looking at a graph and understanding what each month's performance is like, understanding where you can expect sales, where you can expect our clients to fall in from, utilizing the tool that are made available to you by platforms when you're running your marketing. Basically, it's a part of our lives. It's a part of our lives. We gather data every single day. It's not left for us to decide how we make use of that data that we gather. And that's where analytics comes in.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Collins. You have done very well. I'm going to jump on to Omo. Omo, I asked 2 questions in one. I said, what's the difference between data analytics and data analysis? That is if you agree or not agree totally with Collins. And then I'm also at the types of data and if there's a perfect right timing for using data.
Okay. So from my perspective, data analysis is a subset of data analytics. Yeah. Data analytics is actually, I think the official definition is that it's a systematic computation of the analysis of data. If that sounds a little bit too complex, it just it's just like it's a branch of data science, which is a broader science, and it deals with how it analyzing raw data to gain insights or information that is applicable in making business decisions. Data analysis, so that is data analytics. Now, data analysis now is the process of actually inspecting this data you've collected, cleansing it, transforming it, and modeling it, with the goal of discovering useful information that will help you draw conclusions or find trends or make predictions, or just generally support you in whatever decisions you want to make. It helps you gain insights, actionable insights that will help you do something. So from all the data you've collected, when you analyze it, you process it, then you can find out that, oh, all my customers come in between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. and they are only buying blue slippers. Those are the kinds of things that you will glean out of it. So it's a subset of data analytics. So that's from my own perspective. Now, you said, I think the other thing you asked was, when is the right time to start using data analysis? Is it? Yeah. Linda?
Yes, I asked them if there are different types of data analytics, and also, is there a right time to analyze and to use the data?
Okay, I see. There are different types of data analytics, yes. There's predictive analytics, there's descriptive, there's diagnostic, I hope I said that well. Predictive, we all know, when you're predicting, future trends, what's going on. So based on the things that are happening today, you can predict the future, what will happen in the future, what will likely happen in the future, So it's one of the key ways data is used, data you collect. Another one is to diagnose what's going on. So us, like, for example, I'm a software developer, somebody will come, oh, there's a problem with XYZ. You have to diagnose it, what's happened. So you use data to find out what's going on, what happened, and then you can resolve whatever it is. Or you can use it to describe what's happening. You can also use data to describe a scenario, this is what's happening. And there's prescriptive data as well, that you can use to prescribe what needs to be done and things like that. So these are ways. All of these are like complex, well, not that complex, but they are broad, so we can go in and in. But at just for a summary level, those are the different types. Now, when should you start doing data analysis or data analytics, or when should you start using data analytics tools? You can start using it from day one. I think, especially in the world that we live in today, is very competitive, you have different people out there, we're in the global world as well. So you're not only working or competing with people around you, you are competing with global people all around the world, companies around the world. And customers are savvy. They know what they want these days. Everybody is on their internet. You know what I mean? Like I say, even my mother retired, uses internet as well. So, you know what I mean? We are competing with so many people. So you have to start using these things from day one to manage your business these days. If you are a new business, start from day one. If you're a business that you've not used it before, then the next best time to start using it is today. It's now, because like I said, customers are savvy. Once they come to you and you are not meeting their needs, they just go, you know what I mean? There's unfortunately no loyalty like that out there. They go to the next best person, So from day one, you need to start ensuring that you are properly capturing your customers, capturing their needs and serving them the way that they want to be served. Otherwise, they will just, go to your competitors and you'll be left there. So I hope that answered the question, Linda.
No, very well. So most times it's really quite difficult for people to understand the difference, but I know that they are slightly different. So I think one is just the same, and you've explained it really well. Like you broke it down really very well. So I actually now even get it better.
Yes.
So
let me actually even say one more thing. When we talk about, so in data analytics, that's when you talk about the tool. So the tools that you use will help you perform data analysis. The data analytics tool. So we talked a lot about Google Analytics. That helps you analyze the data that comes from your website. You know what I'm saying? It helps you perform data analysis. When you have a human being, like you say you are a data analyst or you're a data scientist or whatever, the job you are doing is data analysis. So that's just another spin on it. So that's my 2 pennies.
Well, I think it's fine. So the tools you use in performing and analyzing the data under data analytics, that's one. And then data analysis is the process.
Is the process,
So
it's an
process
action.
action of inspecting, getting the data, modeling it, and then also using it. Really clear. Thank you very much.
Cleansing it.
Okay, so I'm going to jump to Mr. Kola when Daniel, that's fine. So do you totally agree with Omo, the difference between data analytics and data analysis? Are there different types of data analytics? Because you do a lot of that around research for SMEs, and is there a right time? So some, as you said earlier, you mentioned the fact that, and it's the truth, most SMEs just jump into the business, and I think because we're prayer warriors, we pray that it will work rather than doing the work. So they hope that it will work, like maybe people will like it, maybe so. I would like you to just mention if there's a right time also for doing this analysis for your data. Thank you.
Okay, so Omar has said a lot about all those things, and okay, I hope I'm not muted. Okay, yeah, I'm not. So Omar has actually said a lot about this, and when Omar explains, it's like I pick my notepad and my pen to just take some lecture again, from a professional, So I don't think I need to overflog what she has said. Yes, but I just want to mention some types of data analytics that I got to know of recent, and I'll mention just 4 of them. There's one that is actually called the Descriptive Analytics. This describes what has occurred over a certain period of time. For example, an increase in sales, or a higher page views in a particular month, or a quarter. This is like a descriptive, analytics. And the second one is like predictive analytics. Predictive analytics predict what is likely to take place in the relative near times based on previous data. So you've had some things that happened in the past, and predictive actually helps you to like a forecast of, okay, this has happened, from the look of things, 2 or 3 years ago we had this happening, so this is probably happening. For example, that is in the advertising industry, people tend to understand that January, February, a lot of people don't spend much, so the budget for marketing is actually a bit low, and they know that by March, April it increases, because they believe that from March, there's going to be Easter coming up, then it picks up. Then maybe around June, July, again it drops. Then October, November, December, reaches the sky. At times, there are some companies that at times in between what they didn't make or what they made from January to October or September might actually be double. They might have over 200 or 300% of the same thing between just November and December alone. So this helps. So when you have analytics, this helps us to plan ahead of all these things. We also have diagnostic analytics. This analyzes why a particular phenomenon, such as an increase or decline in sales has occurred. For example, last year we had COVID, and it's actually known that COVID actually declined a lot of things. For example, everybody had to learn how to use, we are using Zoom right now. A lot of people didn't know Zoom before. A lot of people didn't know Zoom before. So this actually shut some market up. It also affected some market. For example, live conferences now got to decrease, and a couple of things that happened. So, analyzing this helps you to plan, okay, how can we do this? How can we, go around this, phenomenon and all this? And then the last one is prescriptive analysis, such as a certain course of action, like a seasonal increase in stock or a certain product based on past data. You mentioned something earlier on, talking about people in most like malls, and when you get to the mall at some period of time, for example, if you get to the mall on a Sunday, I hate going to the mall on weekends. Actually, I hate going to the mall because by the time you get to the paying whatever, you get to queue. Maybe I enter the mall and I see that queue, I just walk outside and just go to probably supermarket I can get it. I don't even care if the price is going to be cheaper or not. And during the festive period, you discover that it's actually crazier, because last Saturday or Sunday, I was at the ICM in Keja here, And the crowd there, before I could even get to park, was crazy. And for the park here, what's it called? When I got into the mall, the crowd I saw, the queue that were actually waiting to pay was crazy. And just like you said, analysis, and all the things you've had will gather together should help you plan ahead. Should help you know that, okay, this particular season we normally have this. Let's have probably contract workers. Let's have contract workers working for probably 2-3 months or 2 months or a few weeks, to assist us in planning these things. This time we have more sales online. Let's see how we can increase this. Let's see how we can push this. Let's see how we can create, different packages for people. All these things helps us to prescribe what that needs to be done to actually solve, all our marketing problems. So these are the types of analytics that I know, from prescriptive, to diagnostic, to predictive analytics, and to descriptive analytics. These are the ones that I can, give out to help us. So going back to all this four, by the time you have all this four and you have them figured.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I think his internet got frozen. Sorry. So we'll just wait for him to come back, if that's fine. But he was talking about descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, diagnostic analytics, and disruptive analytics also. Just explaining, and then prescriptive analysis. So he was explaining how they all help you to know. So predictive will help you predict the future. Diagnostic will tell you if there's an issue, like there was COVID last year. Prescriptive will help you tell you what you should do. He was just talking about the malls. And then I mentioned that earlier also about timings. So most times, I think the major problem is that the stores don't want to spend more and make more money, but then end up frustrating their customers and even losing some of their customers. Because if I walk into the store during this period and it's full, I just get out and go somewhere else. I can't deal with the queue, because you already, and you knew ahead of time, if I'm going to say that there was definitely going to be a queue this December, 2 weeks to Christmas and a few days to Christmas. So why should I stay on the queue for 2 hours? Why? It's a far, I'll just go. So most times, for me, my own planning is I start buying stuffs in October. I buy in October, I buy in November, and then I just know I need 2 or 3 things in December because I can't deal with the queue. But I think the company should understand and use their data well. The malls, especially the very big malls and ShopRites, have that massive queue few days to Christmas. And I still don't understand why they haven't been able to manage it. So if you go to the mall, they should be able to use data to analyze when will people come, what time will they come, and how do we have more hands to scan faster. And then I think sometimes the people working are also tired. So you can imagine scanning like 30,000 items. So even the service is low and it's not as high. And I'm wondering why. I'm bringing you thousands of naira. I'm going to make the highest sales this Christmas. You make the highest money. Most people don't make that kind of money. So you should just spend slightly more on having contracts. I think it's really key that businesses should use data to really understand how they can serve their customers better. It will help reduce the frustration. So I just have a few more minutes so that we can end. My final question and final note to most of my speakers, I would just like to find out from you what a few problems that using data analysis small businesses can encounter while they're using data analysis, and how you can advise or encourage them. So you have 2 minutes each so that we can round off. Omo, you are next, and then I'll have Collins. Hopefully, Kolawole will join us before we'll end the session. Thank you.
Okay, so 2 things. I think one of the first things would be collecting the data. I think a lot of small businesses will be like, how do I start collecting data now? Notice like they're producing data, that's generating data is coming in. How do you start collecting it? There are simple tools you can use, there are more complex tools. I think I've mentioned this over and over. A lot of small businesses, entrepreneurs, the traditional older businesses might be scared. Oh my God, they would think they are coming to use some complex IT application, but not really. Like I said, you can start with using a simple spreadsheet, start collecting the data. First of all, you need to, follow the structured process, do some, what's your business goal? What the kind of information you want to collect, when you know all of these things, then you structure it, have a simple database, or you can find a simple tool. There are many online productivity tools that can help you out there, CRM, customer relationship management tools, bookkeeping type tools, things that are not too complex out there that can help. So you can start collecting this data. So I think that's one of the things. How do you collect it? And everybody can be responsible in the organization, for collecting this data depending on their access levels that you give to them. Another thing is like having one version of the truth. If you have too many different sources where people are collecting data, it's a problem. Then you start having duplication. You start having many information points. So that's the other bit I was going to come to. Dirty, in software development, we have this thing we call like dirty data. How can software be dirty, So a lot of data people collect, they need to be cleansed. When the data is incomplete, we call it dirty as well. So for example, we have an application, HandyJacks. In our application, we list tradespeople, artisans. Sometimes they provide incomplete information, or sometimes it's duplicate information. You see one person will be registered multiple times because either they forgot they registered before, somebody just registered them multiple times. So you have all these problems of duplication or incomplete. They didn't provide you, provide this to you, I'll not get them today, you'll just put something else. So you have all this information that is just incomplete. So we call it dirty data. So all of this kind of data needs to be cleansed. It's a problem. So when you actually want to go, and can you imagine if you want to go to a bank now, for example, to get money or whatever, they say, bring your information. You just have all this incomplete or duplicate information everywhere, you need to cleanse this data, and cleansing it sounds more complex than it actually is, It just means making it correct. That's what you cleanse it or validate the data. In HandyJacks, for example, it's simple things like, okay, we'll call the person, okay, we see that you were supposed to give us 10 pieces of information, you only gave us 6. So we can call you to collect the remaining 6 so that we have complete information about you. You know what I mean? It's looking through the information manually. Okay, this person registered 2 times. You can't have 2 of the same person. So obviously you have to delete one record or archive it, So that's one. So 2 things I can say. So first of all, collecting data, a lot of people will think, oh my God, it's such a massive thing to start, but you can just start from where you are. Use a simple spreadsheet to start. Then from there, you can build up to using a small software. When you get more money or you hire more people or you get bigger, whatever it is, you can start using more complex systems, but you don't have to start with that massive thing from day one, Then the other thing, when you actually start collecting this data, if you have incomplete information, duplicate information, you need to cleanse it to make sure that you have quality data, because there's nothing worse than having incomplete information, or information that is just not, it's not good quality. You can't do anything with it. You can't make proper decisions with that thing. If you have duplicate info, say you have customer database and one person is registered 3 times, 4 times, you just have all these duplications everywhere. You look at it and you say, I have 100 customers, but really in real terms, you have only 70. You get me? But then you'll be shortchanging yourself. You get what I'm saying? If you do things, so you have to cleanse your information to make sure it is complete and quality, and make sure you are, start collecting your data from today. So that's my bit.
Thank you so much, Omo. Thank you. We're really grateful. Collins, you are next. I was just asking the final question, and we're also rounding off. What problems do you think that SMEs face in gathering and using data that they encounter, and what would be your advice for them?
Hello. Okay. You see the challenges that the SMEs face in using data, and then what I can advise. Okay. Yeah, I would say the biggest challenge is in validating data and analyzing data. Just like Omo mentioned, data can be collected very easily from multiple sources. Okay, but again, getting to assess the quality of the data that's been gathered is where the major challenge is usually experienced. Basically, how the data is being assessed, again, trying to sieve out duplicates, trying to authenticate the quality of the data that's being gathered is one very big challenge challenge that most businesses face. And then secondly, the tool, selecting the right tool to analyze that data to give you more like intelligent results. That's a second place that that businesses can experience challenges. So yeah, those are the two key sources where people would face challenges. Now, my advice for people is to basically go simple with this. Again, depending on this level of the organization or the level of the data that's been gathered, that's been assessed, and that's been analyzed. If it's something that can be handled yourself, then look for simple tools that can allow you to do this very easily. If you can't, just find some expert that can give you some really good assessment of that data, that can validate it, that can analyze it to give you an intelligent result. Now, what you don't want to do is to handle data that you have no understanding about, that gives you false results, and then you taking business decision based on that false results that you've gotten. So again, work simple, find simple tools that can allow you make intelligent use of the data that you've gathered, validate it, analyze it, and get your results. Or if you're working with so much data that's beyond your capacity to manage, just find some experts that can help you make very good use of the data. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we're trying to see how we can help Mr. Kolawole Daniel to come in, but I think we're having some issues with his network. So if he comes in, I'll let him have his 2 minutes to round off what he was saying and then also give us his advice to SME. Toyosi, if you're ready, you can play the video if that's fine. And then just give him some few minutes before we end. Is the video ready, Toyosi? Do we have the video ready to play, if that's fine? While we wait for them to, okay, so we're waiting for the backend person to play the video. While I wait for the video, I will just quickly talk about Business Day a bit. So Business Day really believes in helping small businesses and also seeing how we can help them grow. And we know that they cannot do that without being online and also digital. So we also have subscription-based model where we provide them with data and information. So if you do want to subscribe to read Business Day and our content around how you can grow your business, you can always reach me, linda@businessday.ng, or you can send us a message on our social media handles and I'll get that and I'll try to see how we can help you subscribe. We're also creating a package for SMEs where they can advertise through some SME bodies, through Faith Foundation and through Legal State Employment Trust Funds at discounted rates. So if you also don't want to advertise, would also help you because we know that is also key for your business. And if you also need to advertise or subscribe, just reach out to us. We really want to see how we can help you grow. We've had about 11 sessions throughout this year, and it's been really very insightful and very interesting. We hope that you all have also learned a lot from all the previous topics that we've had. And we hope that we can also, we actively had 12 sessions to be precise. We hope that we can continue this again next year, bringing you seasoned speakers and amazing topics that can just help you just be better in your business and make sure that you're in business. So the key is to remain in business, be consistent, and also survive even with the terrains and the problems we have in Nigeria. We just want to make sure that we help you to survive, all that is happening. So make sure you reach out to us and also follow us across social media and to see and get information about the next event. Look at the video ready. We'll play the video before I give the closing remarks to just thank everyone. If it's not ready, just let me know so that I can skip that. Okay, Mr. Kolawole is here. So sorry about your network. I was almost ending. So I'll let Mr. Kolawole finish up what he was saying. I'll also give him 2 minutes to round off answering what challenges SMEs face. Have I lost him again? I think I have. I'm so sorry about his network. I think something is wrong. Toyosi, Nduka, do we have the video? If we have it, we can play it. If we don't, just let me know in the chat that we don't have it. Okay, so, okay, Mr. Kolawole, sorry.
Please, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so you have 2 minutes
Apologies for
before I give the
that.
closing remarks. Network is, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I can
just
hear you
like
now.
to round off, and then I mentioned that SMEs face some issues with analyzing data. I want you to give them advice on how they can manage that, and then we can end. Okay, cool. I think we'll probably skip the video, and then I'll give my closing remarks. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, about that, how they can manage data. First is, I think acquiring is actually the first thing. You know, how to actually. You said they have challenges. You know, how they can get it. I think the first thing is how you actually get the data itself. And like Fred mentioned earlier on, you know, there are these several platforms that actually made it, you know, easy or easier for you to actually get, you know, these things. For example, is Google Analytics and Facebook, for example. You know, most of the time, like one of the things I said earlier, it was that research, we don't actually do proper research very well. But that's all. A lot of time when people go and do marketing online, for example, digital marketing, or you push anything online, you just run because Facebook is saying boost it from front and just boost it. But there are other ways that you can actually acquire data and know all the information of all the things that you've done. The same thing with Google, you know, Google Ads as well. So when you run all those things, this helps you, you know, analyze and gathering data for all the things all the things you want to do. And also, when I was talking about starting up a company the other time, that, you know, if you want to start up a company, that you might need to also get that data very well. Consumer analysis is actually a very critical thing. Most of the time, we do predictions. You know, we do predictions, and we think that, I assume for consumers, you need to do a proper consumer research on all those things. And one of the things that can even help us that we have right now is having like questionnaires. If you go on LinkedIn, you'll discover that these are very basic things. I'm not even going to the depth of, you know, the data analysis. I don't want to make it complex for people. For example, if you go on LinkedIn, for example, right now, LinkedIn makes it easy for you to actually understand the market. They've created places where you can actually have polls, you know, set up polls, and where you can ask questions and have, you know, that's one of the things we use when we're trying to market this. Start a new company. We ask people what things about traditional marketing, things about digital, fusing the two together. You know, this thing helped us with how people analyze. We looked at the kind of people that responded to our questions. We looked at how they responded. We look at the percentage of, you know, how the percentage of those that responded to this, the percentage of the answers they chose, you know, the caliber of people, their demographics, all these things matter. So you can, even from those little you know, platforms, you know, those platforms, you can also gather, you know, do little research there for your business, you know, and gather data there. And like I said earlier on, you know, Google helps a lot. You know, Google helps a lot. So I don't think there's any business you want to do right now that you want to help with data, you know, that Google cannot help you with. You know, Google goes a long way beyond just a search engine, you know, platform. Google is actually like a world on its own that you can actually get everything, you know. And I think two platforms I think you can actually get proper analysis for businesses is Google and LinkedIn. So yeah, thank you
Very much. We promised to keep to time, so I'm going to round up. I want to thank quickly all our speakers for making our time. We know how busy you are. Omar Clark, Kolawole Daniel, Collins Ofebo, and Chukwemeka Fred. Really appreciate your time. And we've had Omar feature on various monthly editions. Omar, thank you for always helping us out when we need your help. Thank you. We want to thank people for tuning in. We know how important your time is.
Thank you very much.
And we can't do this without you. We hope that listening through all the months, these sessions from January till now, you've been able to learn a few things and it's been helpful for your business. We want to also thank the past speakers, thank Business Day for this opportunity, NetPlus, and all of them that have also at one point or the other supported this to make sure it's a reality. We want to say thank you. And I'm sure I can't end without saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. This is the last one for the year. So by the time we come back next year, it's going to be happy 2022. So we hope that you will still be in business. We hope that you will also join us again to learn one or two things that will help you grow your business. Thank you very much, everyone, and do have a very lovely day.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Business Day. Enjoy the holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you, Omo. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you too.
Thank you, Linda. Nice meeting you, Omon Kolawole.
Nice meeting you too. All right.
Thanks back and